Hello, everyone. Welcome to this nourishing thyroid, essential steps to nourish your thyroid webinar with me, Andrea Beeman. It's 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, April 23rd. And I'm looking forward to sharing with you information to help you heal your thyroid so you can feel your best and look your best and be happy and healthy and all that good stuff. So while we're waiting for people to hop on, because we have people coming from all over the world right now. So while we're waiting for people to hop on, I want you to just put into the question box or the chat box what you want to learn from me today. I've been teaching people about healing the thyroid for over the past more than 25 years. So I want to know what you want to learn from me today. And also, Amanda, I know that we had some questions that came in earlier. Do you want to go through some of those questions?
Hi, Andrea. Yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
something that came in from Dawn, who I see she's on the webinar already. She asked, how can I get rid of my thyroid nodules?
Okay, it's a really great question. So, thyroid nodules are way more common than you may think, and 95% of them are benign. So, that's first and foremost, uh, they're um, they're not necessarily a problem, but they do indicate that there is some inflammation happening in the thyroid, near the thyroid, around the thyroid. So, oftentimes nodules can come from viruses, that can come from low iodine, right? So you can get an inflamed nodule that grows into a goiter, which is what I used to have. I used to have a really large goiter. Um, so that can come from either too little iodine or too much iodine. So you have to always be conscious of the iodine and where it's coming from, right? So I know a lot of people will take iodine supplementation. I actually don't recommend that because that it almost like triggers inflammation inside the body. Because when you take iodine without all of the other elements that it comes with, it can be inflammatory. So if you take, let's say, iodine in the form of seaweed, where it's naturally um, abundant, right? You're getting the mucilage in the seaweed that helps to nourish and support the digestive system and reduce the inflammation, and then your body uptakes the iodine much better. Um, so it's a really great question. Um, Amanda, did you have another question?
Yes, another question that came in. This is from Farhatul, and she's on tonight as well. And she wants to understand more about cortisol function concerning hyperthyroid. She's been diagnosed with Graves' disease back in 2018 and started taking meds immediately. By June 2022, a doctor approved her to stop all medication as her thyroid was doing really well then. And then she relapsed like a year later. She's back on the meds again. Her thyroid readings are improving again, but her cortisol level is quite low, she said.
Okay. So with the cortisol level being really low, it shows that your adrenals are tapped out. So cortisol is really important for so many processes in your body. Um, it's cortisol is supposed to be high in the morning when you wake up. Your cortisol is almost like the little wake up hormone. It's like, get up, get out of bed, let's go, get your energy on, right? But if you are chronically stressed, then your adrenals are exhausted and your cortisol will lie flat, right? It's known as adrenal fatigue. And when that happens, you won't have energy to get out of bed, your immune system will crash, your hair will fall out, your digestive system won't function well, right? Because you need cortisol for a lot of different functions in the body. So, one of the things that you can do to raise your cortisol naturally without spiking it, right? So, like when you're under stress and you cortisol, right? It's a stress hormone. That's when you have a high stress, you're going to have a what's called that belly fat. You know, when you have the tire around your belly, that's always a sign that the cortisol was too high. So if you have that high cortisol for years and years and years, you tank the adrenals. So one of the things that you could do to naturally lift the cortisol in your body is to do stress relieving exercises, meditation, gentle walking, relaxation. I would even take adaptogenic herbs. I would take things like eleutherococcus, which is a Siberian ginseng, or ashwagandha, which is known as Indian ginseng. It's not a true ginseng, but it's known as Indian ginseng. So those adaptogenic herbs support the adrenals, and they help to naturally lift your energy and raise your cortisol. So it's 7:06. We're going to get started with this webinar today. And I'm going to share a lot of information with you. So I want you to settle in and simmer down. And I'm going to shut off my webcam so we could get focused on this presentation. So let's see. Let's go to this first slide. This is what you're going to learn today from me. That you're going to learn that thyroid disease is not an incurable condition that needs a lifetime of medication. That's a myth perpetuated by big pharma. You only need a lifetime of medication if you've had your thyroid ablated or have had a thyroidectomy. And by the way, thyroidectomies can be avoided using the knowledge that I share in my Nourishing Thyroid Health program. And even if you had a thyroid surgery or an ablation, you can still support the rest of your endocrine system and your nervous system and your digestive system to help you avoid any future unnecessary surgeries. So if you are one of the many people that no longer have a thyroid, you can still use the knowledge that I'm sharing with you today. And also, one of the main things to keep in mind is that thyroid disease is not a disease. It's an imbalance, okay? You're also going to learn why supporting your adrenals is vital to improving energy, healing the thyroid, and stopping your hair from falling out, just like I just talked about. We need to nourish the adrenals. And I'm going to cover how the liver and the gallbladder impact thyroid hormones and weight problems, why extreme diets like paleo, keto, vegan, medical medium, AIP, macrobiotic, carnivore, and lectin-free work for a limited time, but eventually they throw your whole system out of balance, and they inhibit your ability to digest food. The role chronic emotional stress plays as a big contributor to thyroid disease. And then I'm going to give you 3 easy steps to help you heal your condition right now so you can stop suffering. And I have a special gift that's only available to those of you that stay on with me until the end of the session today. So hang tight for your gift. So for those of you that are meeting me for the first time, my name is Andrea Beeman. I'm an internationally renowned holistic health coach, thyroid expert, and herbalist. I was named one of the top 100 most influential health and fitness experts. I'm the recipient of the Award for Excellence in Health Supportive Education and the Health Leadership Award. I'm the author of Happy Healthy Thyroid, The Essential Steps to Healing Naturally. And my Nourishing Thyroid Health program reaches participants around the world. And the steps I'm sharing with you today are taken directly from that online program. I have over 2 decades of experience working with people suffering from thyroid conditions and helping them heal naturally. And for more information about me, you can visit www.andreabeeman.com. But for the next hour, stay right where you are to get the knowledge to heal your thyroid and feel your best. Okay, so one of the reasons how I became an expert in thyroid health is because I too was diagnosed with a thyroid condition. So these are pictures of me. I was initially diagnosed back in 1996. I suffered from weight problems, exhaustion, anxiety, insomnia, anemia. Plus, I had a large swollen goiter that you can see here in these pictures. I was also experiencing extreme heart palpitations that felt like I was having a heart attack every day. And I was struggling with PMS, poor immunity, splitting hair, and weak peeling nails. So I was hyperthyroid at the time of my diagnosis. That's an overactive thyroid. And I was told by my doctor to take radioactive iodine to destroy my thyroid. and then be on medication for the rest of my life. But I said no. I didn't want to destroy any part of my body with radiation. And I told my doctor that I was going to change my diet and lifestyle. And my doctor said, your diet and your lifestyle have nothing to do with your disease. Now, that was over 28 years ago. And I know that many of you know today, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that diet has a lot to do with disease. But even though we have made the connection about how diet and lifestyle impacts our health, many doctors are still working from the old medical protocol that recommends medicating the patient for life or destroying the patient's thyroid gland instead of getting to the root cause of the problem. So for me, instead of destroying my thyroid gland, I left my doctor's office and I improved my diet, my lifestyle, and my consciousness. And my thyroid healed naturally. My goiter kept shrinking. You see that little goiter in my neck? It kept shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and then it completely disappeared after 18 months, and it never came back. So it took me about 2 years to heal my thyroid and get my hormone numbers into the normal range. And during that time period, my thyroid swung from hyper to hypo to Hashimoto's. And Hashimoto's, as I'm sure many of you know, is an autoimmune thyroid condition, and that was at the root of my thyroid imbalance. So if I would have initially followed the poor medical advice given to me by my doctor, if I had followed that advice and radiated my thyroid, I would have never known that my thyroid condition had nothing to do with my thyroid. It had more to do with my gut and my overreactive immune system. So I'm grateful that I spoke my truth over 2 decades ago and I said no thank you to the RAI treatment, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have a thyroid today. And I wouldn't be able to help countless other people around the world heal their thyroid conditions too, like this young lady, Rose. Rose said, a colleague recommended Andrea's thyroid healing program to me when I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism. Literally, after 2 months of following her recommendations, my blood work showed my thyroid was working optimally again. This was almost 5 years ago, and my thyroid continues to be beautifully balanced. I love how Andrea not only addresses different physical factors, but also teaches the importance of healing emotional stress and rebalancing your entire system at every level. I can highly recommend this beautiful program. So the participants that go through my thyroid program are living proof that thyroid disease is not an incurable condition. It's simply misunderstood by the medical establishment. According to modern medical protocols, the thyroid needs medication or RAI or a thyroidectomy, but that's not the truth. So if someone tells you that you have an incurable thyroid disease, I want you to stop and take a moment to get quiet, take a few deep breaths, and listen to your own inner truth. Your truth may be saying something completely different, and that's why you're here. You may be looking for another answer, one that you didn't get at your doctor's office. So let's talk about you. Why are you here? What do you want to learn from me today? Amanda and I went over a couple of questions earlier, but and I could see some people put in questions. Let's see. Kim says, what does it mean when you have calcification in benign thyroid nodules? Well, it means that your thyroid nodules, they're benign, so that's a good thing. Like I said, when we first started this session today, 95% of the thyroid nodules are benign. So the fact that they're calcified means that they are hard. So I would immediately, by the way, Kim, if you're taking any calcium supplementation, I would stop taking that. If you're taking a multivitamin and it has calcium in it, I would stop taking it immediately. So when you have calcified nodules, they're hard nodules, right? They're hard. They've been calcified, literally. So, you want to make sure that your vitamin D levels are good, as well as K2, right? So When you have K2 and D3 combined, then your calcium goes where it needs to go and it doesn't go into the soft tissue. So you have calcium in the soft tissue, which is what hardened that nodule. Okay. Um, so Kevin says, is sea moss good for you? Kevin, sea moss is pretty good. I like all of the sea vegetables. Alaria, wakame, kombu, kelp. I think that they're really good. Um, okay, so let's keep moving forward. So these are some of the reasons why people will normally show up for my thyroid question Q&A, which is what this is today. You may have questions about thyroid disease and you want to know how to heal it naturally. I think one girl said that. Let's see. Michelle. She said, just curious about your program and how to heal naturally. Okay, yeah, we're going to get to that. She said, so maybe you've also read every thyroid book and tried many thyroid diets, but you're still struggling with thyroid disease. Or you're taking thyroid medication, but still not feeling well. Or you're taking supplements and herbs for thyroid health, but they're not working. Or maybe you don't want to be on medication anymore and you're looking for alternative options. Or maybe you're here because your thyroid is not working well, even though you are doing everything right, right? Eating a good diet, exercising, but still struggling with symptoms. Or maybe you're sick and tired of not feeling well and you want your energy back. So if any of that resonates with you, you're in the right place. And a large part of healing your thyroid includes speaking your truth with grace and wisdom. So if I didn't get to any of the reasons why you're here, put it into the chat box. Speak your truth. Let me hear from you. Kim says, is it safe to eat sea vegetables every day? Not necessarily, Kim. And I have a whole module dedicated to what to eat and why, because depending on your condition, like if you have hyperthyroid or Graves and you start to eat sea vegetables every day, you can actually make your thyroid condition worse. If you have Hashimoto's and you eat seaweed every day, you can make your condition worse as well. So if you're going to eat it on the daily, I would only have a small piece, put it into a soup, right? A liquid medium before you have it, because that's the way you're going to be able to absorb the iodine best. Okay, so let's take a look at the benefits of healing your thyroid. You improve your energy and resilience. You can achieve your ideal weight and stop dieting. You learn to navigate stress more effectively. You can reduce and eliminate hair loss. You have comfortable daily bowel movements, sleep soundly and wake up feeling refreshed, ditch your daily medication, set boundaries, and speak your truth, right? So today we're gonna cover 3 steps to heal your thyroid, right? So what I'm sharing with you today is taken directly from my Nourishing Thyroid Health group coaching program. It's where I walk you step by step through the process of understanding why your thyroid is out of balance and how to heal it naturally, and then for you to start feeling fabulous. So there are many steps, but in the short amount of time that we have today, what time is it now? 7:19. So we only have about 40 minutes left. So I'm going to cover 3 steps only. The first is a whole body approach. The second is understanding foods, not fads. And the third is optimizing liver health and why that's important. So step number 1, let's get right to it. The thyroid has a lot of work to do and it's responsible for many functions in the body, but the thyroid is not a solo operator. So we can't solely focus on the thyroid. So we're going to take a quick look at the endocrine system as a whole, as one whole system. So the hypothalamus, which is considered the master gland in modern medicine, connects the nervous system and the endocrine system. So if stress is high, the message comes into the hypothalamus from the nervous system and is sent to the pituitary gland. And that triggers stress hormones to be released from the adrenals. It's called the HPA axis, the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis. So if you are under chronic stress, like I covered at the very beginning of this talk today, if you are under chronic stress and your hormones remain high, this increases your blood sugar, it stresses the pancreas and the digestive system, throws your hormones out of balance, and depletes the adrenals. So chronic stress can either slow or speed the thyroid. So when you're healing the thyroid, you can't neglect the nervous system, your adrenals, and their connection to your overall endocrine health, right? Because the hypothalamus is connecting the nervous system to the endocrine system. Please keep that in mind. You'll never be able to heal the thyroid just looking at the thyroid. So we also have our pineal gland, and that's connected to our ability to know without knowing and see without seeing. It's an underappreciated gland in modern medicine. But in my thyroid program, you learn what the pineal gland is, and you understand what your body is saying that it needs. So we all innately know what we need, but we've shut that wisdom off. And I teach you how to access that wisdom again, because the pineal gland keeps your internal environment in harmony with the external environment. It regulates your circadian rhythms and sleeping and waking cycles. So if you're having trouble sleeping, it's not because of your thyroid, but your thyroid will be blamed for that. Okay, so now let's go down a little further. Let's look at the thyroid. As you can see, it's a butterfly-shaped gland located in your neck. It weighs about an ounce. It takes in iodine and converts it into T4 and T3. It produces T3, T4, and calcitonin that regulates blood calcium. The thyroid is the communicator between cells and various bodily systems. It stimulates bone cells to build bone tissue. It's responsible for the rate of metabolism and body weight and temperature. It also increases mitochondria, that increases energy production. So that's something to keep in mind. It actually increases the mitochondria. So we need that in order to have energy. So below our thyroid, we have our thymus, and that's connected to our immune system. So for those of you that are struggling with autoimmune thyroid conditions or overall poor immunity, you can't heal your condition without supporting the thymus and nourishing your bone marrow. So the vast majority of our immune cells are developed in the marrow, and the T cells mature in the thymus. So our killer T cells find and destroy infected cells that have been turned into virus-making factories. This is vital for those of you with high viral loads like Epstein-Barr virus or any of the herpes viruses, or even coronavirus. You need to get the viral loads down to support thyroid health. So I've worked with so many people that tell me that after they got COVID or the shot for COVID, that their thyroid antibodies got worse, right? So this is one of the reasons, right? The immune system has been compromised. So before the thyroid, below the thyroid, we have our adrenals, and they are responsible for our stress response. So I spoke about the adrenals when we were looking at the HPA axis. And the adrenals are so important to thyroid health that I have an entire module dedicated to it in my thyroid program. And then below that, we have our pancreas that's located at the base of your stomach. The pancreas secretes hormones, including the blood sugar regulating hormones, insulin and glucagon. It also secretes enzymes into your digestive tract through your duodenum. So if you're struggling with weight gain, high blood sugar, and digestive issues, you have to optimize your ability to properly digest food. And that's why I have another module dedicated to improving digestive health. And then we also have our reproductive glands in both men and women. You have the gonads. So when women struggle with infertility, their doctors will blame the thyroid, but it's not the thyroid's fault. When the body shows signs of infertility, it's usually due to what's called a blood deficiency. And no fetus will develop and grow in a body that has a blood deficiency. So blood is the food for the fetus and supports the baby's growth and existence. So building better quality blood through the food you eat is vital for reproductive health and fertility. So for all of our troubles, we could blame our thyroid and take thyroid medication to either speed it up or slow it down, but that would never get to the root cause of the problem. And that's why so many people that take medication for thyroid disease still feel unwell, exhausted, struggle with high blood sugar, hair loss, weight problems, PMS, and infertility. And it's because the other systems and glands have not been addressed. So the body remains out of balance. So we covered the thyroid and the endocrine system as a whole in bonus module number 1 in my thyroid program, because it's vital to see the big picture to heal your thyroid. So in this quick review, what was that, 5 minutes? In this quick review of your endocrine system, were you able to see that you can't focus on the thyroid gland to heal the thyroid? Were you able to see that? That there are so many other things taking place, right? So you have to keep that in mind. You can't focus on the thyroid. And this is a big problem in modern medicine, and it's also a big problem in alternative medicine. They look at the thyroid, focus on the thyroid, and they neglect all of the other systems. So here's what one student in my class had to say, Eugenia. Eugenia said, this program has definitely been enlightening. All of the valuable knowledge provided helped me understand ways to improve my health and the health of my thyroid. The classes are very important to me, and all of them provided a vast amount of information and guidance. My TSH numbers are getting lower, which is extremely wonderful. And although my body is not yet completely healed, I feel more energetic, more educated, and hopeful. I would absolutely recommend this program to anyone who suffers from thyroid disease. So time is running short. It's now 7:26. Let's quickly move on to step number 2. And I see some questions coming in, so we'll get to those questions in a little bit. So step number 2 for healing the thyroid is to understand foods, not fads. So on this slide, you can see that there's a wide variety of foods from many categories. There's nothing missing except for fast food and junk food. Those foods should be omitted from everyone's diet 99.9% of the time, especially if you want to feel good and look good. So when you're healing your thyroid, we need to look at food in a traditional way. Each of these foods that you're looking at contain a wide variety of vitamins and minerals like zinc, selenium, protein, B12, and collagen. The way that these foods are prepared help you absorb the nutrients that support your thyroid. And we're not talking about fad diets, because fad diets are not sustainable for long-term health and they can tank your thyroid. So let's start with paleo and carnivore and keto, right? Which is mostly meats, some veggies, and fats, but little to no starches. So I was talking to my friend Donna the other week, and she's been on a keto diet for 8 months, and she lost 20 pounds and she feels great. And then she crashed, like literally crashed, couldn't get out of the bed, didn't have any energy. And it was because she didn't have any starches. So her mitochondria was starving. They were her body couldn't sustain that. It's not sustainable for long-term health. So sometimes it happens in a year, sometimes it happens in 2 years. For her, it happened in 8 months, right? So with paleo, keto, and carnivore, people cut out grains and starches completely. And that works in the short term for weight loss, but it's not good for long-term health and vitality, especially for the thyroid. And then the opposite of paleo and carnivore is vegan and vegetarian, which it includes no meats or very little animal products. So many vegans contact me and they're suffering from hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's, because with a vegan diet, you may not be getting the proteins needed to build the thyroid hormones, and you can fall into a hypothyroid state. I also see a lot of blood deficiency in many vegans and vegetarians, and that can lead to infertility. They get weak, dizzy, feel cold all the time. And if you're cold all the time, that means that you're eating too many vegetables and fruits, right? Because vegetables and fruits are cooling in nature. So if you're feeling cold and deficient and you can't warm up, more vegetables and fruits will make your condition worse. And then let's look at medical medium. That's Anthony Williams' diet that he recommends for thyroid. And I love that he talks about Epstein-Barr, because I think that it's really important, because pathogens and viruses are one of the main triggers for autoimmune thyroid conditions like Hashimoto's and Graves. So until you get your viral loads down by nourishing your immune system, supporting your thymus, and regulating your immune response, you won't be able to calm the hyperreactive autoimmune condition. So the medical medium diet, which is mostly raw, has lots of detox smoothies and salads, is fantastic for cooling inflammation. But eventually, it cools the digestive fire as well, and that will slow your thyroid, leading to deficiencies. So I've seen this with quite a few people who were drinking celery juice in the morning and then detox smoothies for lunch. They literally put their digestive fire out. They felt great in the beginning, but after 6 months or a year, the body began failing. Hair was falling out, they were feeling bloated, sluggish, cold, feet were too heavy, and they were generally unwell. So that's why the students that go through my online thyroid health program are taught about each food and how it impacts the body, plus how to cook it and eat it for optimized health. So once you understand food and the body's reaction to it, you don't have to exclude any category of food for the rest of your life. So my question to you is, how many of you have tried a thyroid diet or other diet and saw results in the beginning, but then felt your symptoms returning? Please put it into the Q&A box now. How many of you have tried a thyroid diet or a healing diet or a thyroid supplement or anything that had to do with thyroid, whether it was an AIP, a paleo, a keto, any diet? How many of you have tried them and they have not worked for you? Please let me know. Kim says, oh, Kim says, I have two of your books, Happy Healthy Thyroid and The Whole Truth. I want to let you know that these books have been very helpful. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So for those of you that have tried diets and they haven't worked, it's because you need to look at food from a traditional way, right? A traditional, more wholesome way. Um, the when we take out entire food categories, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. It'll work in the short term, but not in the long term. So here's what one of my students had to say. Via Lane said, before I started this program, I was suffering from complete burnout, chronic fatigue, aches, pain, and weight gain. After 2 months of applying the dietary and lifestyle changes recommended in Andrea's program, I noticed many of these symptoms go away. I've been feeling more in tune with myself at all levels, and I've dropped some pounds because I can see it and feel it without needing a scale. Also, on my last blood test, the doctor told me that we needed to lower my medicine. Finally, today I feel in control as I am noticing many shifts from the dietary modifications and regaining energy and improvement on all levels. I know I'm on the right path to get off that med and be my best naturally, right? So it's not about excluding foods, it's about understanding foods. And once you understand food and you understand your body and your body's reaction to it, you never have to cut out anything for the rest of your life. Okay? Kim says, yes, I've tried several. Paleo, keto, medical medium. I still do gluten and dairy free most of the time because of sensitivities. Okay, that is fantastic, Kim. Thank you for sharing that. So the sensitivity is there because the digestive system is still not functioning well, right? So it's one of the reasons why in my thyroid program, I have an entire module dedicated to the digestive system. Because you could do any diet in the world and you could take everything out. You could be gluten-free, dairy-free, lectin-free, nightshade-free, take them all out and still suffer with sensitivities because the digestive system has not been supported. And Kim says, I was doing vitamin D without K2. So I've changed that. Very smart. Otherwise, you get calcification. I also deal with high EBV, IgG, and struggling to get that down. Okay, so that's great. Thank you for sharing all that stuff. So let's take a look at, because we're getting really short on time. It's now 7:34. I got to go a little quicker. Sorry, guys. So most people will blame their thyroid for weight gain, bloating, digestive distress, but the truth is we need even allergies, by the way, Kim, and sensitivities. We need to look at the liver according to Chinese medicine. So when the liver is compromised or congested or deficient blood, we suffer with weight gain, digestive distress, muscular tension, menstrual irregularities, infertility, headaches, muscle and joint pain, dry eyes, blurry eyes, restless legs syndrome, chronic fatigue and exhaustion. So those are the symptoms of thyroid disease as well as menopause, right? Those are all symptoms of the same condition, right? So we put names and labels on things, thyroid disease, menopause, whatever you got, right? But this is really coming from compromised liver health. So it's imperative that you look at the health of your liver and your gallbladder. So if the liver is not producing adequate bile, your risk for weight gain increases substantially as fat globules make their way into your bloodstream because it hasn't been broken down into a usable form. So congested bile or thick, sludgy bile is linked to hormone dysfunction, hypothyroidism, hot flashes, constipation, depression, migraines, insomnia, dry skin, and chronic fatigue. So there was a study that was done in Finland, and they found hypothyroidism is 7 times more likely in people with reduced bile flow and gallstones. So the reason for that is because bile triggers the release of the enzyme that converts T4 to T3, because the vast majority of your T4 to T3 conversion happens in the liver. So the usable form of thyroid hormone, which is the T3, so you need to improve the health of your liver and your gallbladder, and that will improve your metabolism. It'll improve your thyroid health. It'll improve your digestive health, right? So the worse your bile gets, the more toxic and nutritionally compromised your body becomes. And the result is big time fat storage, allergies, you name it. So in my Nourishing Thyroid Health program, once you learn about food and the digestive system and how to process food and how to support the adrenals and reduce stress, then we do a gentle liver cleanse together, right? So here's what one of the students in my class had to say. Jana. Jana said, thanks to Andrea's class, I was able to reverse Hashimoto's. I love all of Andrea's classes that I've taken. She is so knowledgeable on all things health, and her wisdom is beyond anyone I've ever come across. Her enthusiasm for holistic, healthy living is so contagious. I now choose to lovingly speak my truth, guard my thyroid, and eat foods that heal, not hurt. Now, you guys and gals have been with me for exactly 37 minutes. It's 7:37. And I'm sure you've learned something new about healing the thyroid in this very short amount of time. Could you imagine where your health would be if you got direct guidance from me over the next 4 months? I want you to think about where your health and your energy is now, and think about the health of your thyroid and what you're struggling with. And I want you to think about where you would be in 4 months if you got the right information for your body to help you heal, right? So do you want to hear how I can help you? Do you want to hear how I can support you in my thyroid program? Before I open up for questions, I want to hear from you. Do you want to hear how I can support you guys? Because with my support and guidance, you can say goodbye to uncomfortable symptoms, chronic dieting, sleepless nights, exhaustion, hair loss, digestive stress, and all of the other things that you've been tolerating for so long, because you're tolerating all this stuff. Yes, Patricia. Yes, Kevin. So I'll tell you about um, my thyroid program, and then I'm going to open up and I'm going to get to all of your questions. So I'm going to share with you exactly what I cover in my Nourishing Thyroid Health program, so you can get the support that you need to heal your thyroid condition, achieve your ideal weight, reclaim your energy, and start thriving. And remember, for those of you that hopped on late, I have a very special gift if you stay on with me until the end. So let's take a look at how my program can support you. So we have module number 1, what to eat for thyroid health and how to prepare it. We cover every food category that you can imagine, and then I show you how to prepare those foods. We go over vegetables, fruits, meats, fish, grains, beans, oils, fats, sugar, seasoning, you name it. Plus, we go through all of the iodine-rich foods to add into your diet to build the thyroid hormones. And then, of course, you guys and gals know the connection between thyroid function and adequate iodine, right? It clear decades ago. I don't know why they're not helping you when you go to the doctor. I guess they don't understand it. The thyroid gland depends on iodine to make its hormones. And if your body lacks adequate iodine, like I said earlier, thyroid gland can't produce T3 and T4. And for those gals that are here, low iodine is linked with higher rates of breast cancer in both men and women. By the way, you know that men also get cancer in their chest, and that's linked to low iodine. And oftentimes, men are thrown under the bus because they don't get thyroid disease as often as women, but it's there. They're getting it. They're getting diagnosed with it, and they're also getting diagnosed with depression. Just like women, you get diagnosed with depression, but it's probably a low functioning thyroid. So, um, in module number 2, we go over the lifestyle and environmental factors that contribute to thyroid disease. There is so much more to healing the thyroid than just eating the right nutrients or supplements. You have to understand how your digestive system works so you can properly absorb the nutrients that you need. So that's our lifestyle and environmental factors that contribute to thyroid disease. And then module number 3 is stress and the adrenal connection. Um, like I said earlier, when I first started this talk today, I've seen people reduce stress and properly support their adrenals and their kidneys, and then their thyroid condition naturally resolves itself. So we go through the steps to reduce stress and your reaction to stress naturally and easily. In module number 4, we have the deeper emotional connection to healing thyroid conditions. And this is where we look at what you are saying to yourself and what you're saying in the world. Are you speaking your truth? Are you connecting with the deeper aspects of yourself and honoring yourself? Are you beating yourself up emotionally? Are you saying what you need to say? Right? Your thyroid is a master communicator. And if it's telling you to speak up with grace and wisdom, all right, so we got to speak up. So if your thyroid is out of balance, it's talking to you about your life. So each of these classes are downloadable, so you can watch them or listen to them at any time, anywhere. And the value of these 4 main modules is $19.94, and this is what one student had to say. She said the first module with the food list was a gold mine of information. I knew some foods were goitrogenic, but I had no idea how long the list was. I've made some big adjustments in my diet. I also enjoyed the bonus modules much more than I expected. The one on the menstrual cycle was fabulous. The environmental lecture was hugely informative. I suspected I had adrenal fatigue on top of my hypothyroidism. My energy is coming back. I only wish I had known all of this when I was first diagnosed with the condition 28 years ago. I'm committed to letting others know they can be empowered to manage their own thyroid health rather than simply succumbing to taking a pill. So Lisa feels empowered rather than a victim of this condition. And this is what I want you to experience as well. Because with knowledge comes power. And that's what I give to the students in my thyroid program. I help them get empowered about their health, right? So we also have bonus modules, and these are 6 bonus modules where we go over the thyroid and your menstrual cycle, understanding the thyroid and your endocrine system, and we have experts that come in, essential herbs for thyroid, adrenal health, and endocrine health, recipes and remedies for thyroid and endocrine support, the pros and cons of prescription medication, and then hyperthyroidism and Graves. And these 6 bonus modules are valued at $29.91. And here is what one of my students had to say. My doctor, this is Laura, she said, my doctor wanted to put me on medication immediately, and I decided to wait and see if it could heal itself with Andrea's recommendations and her nourishing thyroid program. My last blood test was great. My TSH levels not only were normal, they were better than ever, as the number was increasing the past few years, and this time is perfect. Within only 4 months, I got my TSH levels perfect without any medication. Only following Andrea's suggestions, increasing my rest time, meditating, eating good quality foods, introducing seaweeds into my diet, and finding out my truth. I encourage anyone to do the course. It helped my health and it also inspired me, right? So here is the best bonus of all. This is 4 live coaching calls with me, valued at $2,000. This is where you bring all of your personal questions that you want answered. It's where you get the support and the guidance you need to heal your thyroid. You let me know where you're struggling, what questions you have, and I'll walk you through the process of healing. Plus, we go over the liver cleanse protocol. We go over a viral protocol, a parasite protocol. All of that happens on the live calls. With each call, you get my undivided attention and guidance. And all of these live calls will be recorded for you because I have students from all over the world and sometimes they cannot attend the live calls. So they simply send their questions in advance and I answer them on the call. And then you get access to the recording the very next day. So you never miss anything and you get the guidance and the support that you need, right? So here's what one student had to say. Sanjita, she was from India. She said, I've taken this course for my hypothyroid problem, and yes, towards the end of the program, I got my thyroid results absolutely normal. Woohoo! She said, this course has given me a deeper understanding of my thyroid symptoms, as well as my 2-year-old son's high allergy issues. Andrea is a great guide, and her coaching calls were the best. Thanks a lot for every bit of the course and your efforts in making the world healthier. So let's take a look at the total value of this program. When you sign up to support your thyroid and start feeling your best, you can get 4 classes worth $19.94. You get the live coaching calls with me valued at $2,000, and you get the 6 bonus modules with our experts valued at $29.91. And if all this program did was increase your energy, help you achieve your ideal weight so that you never have to diet again, clear your brain fog, and help you enjoy your life, would it be worth it? Right? The total value of the program is $69.85. Right? If all this program did was help you understand your body on a deeper level so that you could be empowered about your health for the rest of your life, would that be worth it? Right? A lifetime of wellness for $69.85. But like I said earlier, I have a special gift for those of you that joined me today. You can get this entire program for $9.97. You can participate for 14 days. And if you are not satisfied and you don't feel any relief and have not gained any deeper insight into healing your condition, I will give you your money back. It's a 100% money back guarantee. So your cost for the entire program would be $9.97, and that includes everything: modules, lifetime membership, ongoing support and guidance, the inspiration to keep moving forward. Here's what one student had to say. She said, I was able to get off my thyroid medicine completely. Since being off, I've actually developed more energy and mental clarity than I've ever had on the meds. I'm also sleeping better now, and we're working on my husband's liver and kidney now too. The main takeaway for me is that there are answers out there, and my body can heal itself, and I can use food to do it. That makes health both accessible and affordable for me and my family on a daily basis. Andrea is very insightful and knowledgeable, as well as super sweet. Her encouragement throughout the entire course is so refreshing. Hearing her story, as well as many others, gives hope that no matter where you are, you can move forward with your health. And that was Laura. So having healthcare that is accessible and affordable is so important. If you can heal your condition using food and herbs and better daily habits as medicine, it makes the most financial sense. And like I said, I have a special gift for those of you that are attending live right now. You get an additional $200 off. So the cost of the program for you right now is $797. You would use coupon thyroid200 and you will get this entire program for just $797. It comes out to $6 per day for 4 months of direct support and guidance with me to achieve your ideal weight, reclaim your energy, support the health of your thyroid, your endocrine system, your nervous system, your digestive system, and help you thrive. And this discount is available right now and only until the end of this live webinar. So if you are inspired, use it now. Registration for this class closes this week. So I keep my programs intimate so we have time to get to all of the questions that come in on the coaching calls. So if you are inspired by what I shared in this very short training session and you want to take this program, sign up now. If you don't take advantage of this now, you won't get this discount again. If you want to achieve your ideal weight, reclaim your energy and the health of your thyroid, don't wait. Grab your $200 gift and get in before the program registration closes. Program registration closes this week. So Amanda's going to put that link into the chat box for you. And I'm going to take you to that page and I'm going to show you exactly how to use that coupon to grab your discount. And let me grab that. Amanda, can you put that link into the chat?
Yep, it's in there. And I also put it into the question box, and it looks like an order just came through.
Oh, who signed up?
Jennifer. Congrats, Jennifer.
Congrats, Jennifer, you're in. Okay, wait, let me come back here because I can't grab the link. I don't see it in my inbox, in my chat box. Let's see. Oh, Jen, congratulations. Okay, so I'm going to grab this link and I'm going to take you over to that page. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how many minutes we have left. Okay, we got 9 minutes left. You guys got 9 minutes to get your $200 discount. Okay, so this is the page that you can take a look at and see who this program is for. If you have hypothyroid, hyperthyroid, Hashimoto's, thyroid cancer, nodules, goiter, Graves, we cover it all from the perspective of healing the body on a deeper level. And you get to see who has enjoyed this program and taken the program and had great results. And then you get to see the modules that we have, as well as the bonus modules. There's a lot of bonus modules. Plus, you get the 4 live coaching calls with me. You also get a downloadable copy of my Happy Healthy Thyroid book. And when you are ready, you hit any of these little purple buttons. Yes, I'm ready to heal. And then that will take you to the page. And you can either do one payment of $9.97 and get you $200 discount, or you could do 4 payments of $287 and then your first payment is only $87. So I'm going to choose this one, the $9.97. And then do you see here on the left-hand side where it says have a coupon? You click that button and you put in thyroid 200 and hit apply. And that will give you your discount. And once you get in, you're going to immediately get an email from me letting you know how to get ready for the program. And then your first module is released this Thursday. This Thursday, you get access to your first module. And then the following week, we have a live coaching call. It's very, very exciting. You know, like I've helped so many people over the past 25 years heal their thyroid condition. And I'm confident that we can get you to move the needle, so to speak, so that you can start feeling fabulous instead of frazzled. So like I said, registration will be closing this week. The program opens on Thursday, and then the registration will close. So if you are moved or inspired by what I shared in this very, very short training session, what was this? 53 minutes, right? Then grab your $200 gift and get in before the registration closes. And you have 7 minutes. You have 7 minutes to get in. So the knowledge and the practical steps that I share in this online course will empower you to make the best choices for your thyroid and for the health of your body. You will nourish yourself more deeply, and that will impact your health and your happiness on every level. And it's time to break old habits. You know, you can continue to show up for free events like this and read books and try to piecemeal together a system that you think will work for you. But if you're here today, then something is missing from your protocol. Let me save you time, energy, and give you the support that you need. Take this step and let me guide you to understand and heal your thyroid so you can stop suffering and you can start living, right? Because life is short. You want to be happy and healthy while you're here, not struggling and suffering. So I've given you a ton of information in the last 54 minutes. But information alone is not going to help you heal. With my support and guidance, we can get you moving in the right direction to heal your thyroid, and you can do it for a great price. Now, I'm going to open up for questions. I want to hear from you. Let me close out of this page here and here, and let's go back here. Okay, so here's what Diane said. Andrea's thyroid program has transformed my life. Shortly after incorporating Andrea's recommendation of eleuthero tincture, for those of you that don't know, that's Siberian ginseng, I felt an edge taken off and more relaxed. For osteoporosis, Andrea recommended bone stock. As soon as I drank some, I felt like I had just received a blood transfusion. I also noticed more energy and better digestion after cooking cruciferous veggies. I feel more in control of my life and more empowered to challenge doctors who have recommended I take drugs with nasty side effects. I highly recommend Andrea's program. So go to andreabeeman.com/thyroid. Use your code thyroid200. You have 4 minutes, and I will open up for questions. Let me open up my webcam so you can see you're talking to a human being, a human. So odd. I was talking to a human the other day. Um, what was it? It was I had to bring my car in for service, and there was a human being. You know, normally you get computer people all over, computer AI and all that stuff, and it was really nice and refreshing to talk to a actual human being. So for those of you that have questions, put your questions in now or forever hold your peace. It's 7:56. Me and Amanda are hopping off at 8 o'clock. So if you haven't used your coupon yet, please do. Please use that $200 discount. It is a gift for you. You get this entire program for $6 per day or less. You know, can you imagine where your health would be 4 months from now if you got direct support and guidance from me on the regular basis, right? Because you're going to get a module every single week, like Jen, you're in, so you get your first module this Thursday, and we're going to go over all the foods, everything that you need to know. Plus, you're going to get recipes and how to cook everything. It's a lot of fun. And then the following Thursday is when we have our coaching call. And we toggle the coaching calls. Sometimes they're 1 p.m. in the afternoon, sometimes at 4 p.m. And if you can't make it to any of the calls, no sweat. You send your questions directly to me in advance. I answer your question on the call, and then you get the recording the next day. So it's I set up this program so that it's easy, right? It's easy for you to get the guidance and the support that you need, because one of the things that I emphasize in this program is that there's no stress. Right? You don't stress out.
Login using your login details.
Oh, hello, Amanda, I can hear you. Kevin says, having an error using the Cash App. Amanda, maybe you can help Kevin with the Cash App.
Yep, sorry about that. I was helping him on the side and reading my note to him. I didn't realize I wasn't muted. Yep, Kevin, I can help you. I'll
Okay,
send you
great.
a private message, Kevin.
All right, great. So we got 2 minutes. So if you have any questions at all, oh, Kevin, actually, yeah, we're going to cover, this is a great question to bring to the coaching call. I saw you put it in at 7. How does the thyroid affect male testosterone in men, and how do you rebuild? So Kevin, part of that, which you're going to learn in the program, is that you have to reduce the stress. And for you, eleutherococcus, depending if you are if you have a tendency to run hot, eleutherococcus would be good to help build the testosterone. If you have a tendency to run cool, then Panax ginseng. Panax ginseng is amazing. It's been around for thousands of years. All of the ginsengs have been around for thousands of years, and the ginseng Panax specifically will help to build testosterone, but you have to also reduce the stress, right? When the stress is too high, then all of the hormones are out of balance. So I give you lifestyle activities to reduce the stress, as well as the herbs and supplements to help bring down the stress naturally. Um, if you are, you know what else might be a good one? Ashwagandha, which is considered the Indian ginseng. That's another good one. And if you combine the ashwagandha, let's see, it depends. When I speak to you on the coaching call, because you get within the 14 days that you're in the program, like for the 100% money back guarantee, you get the first coaching call with me. So we'll go through, if you can make it to the live call, that'll be awesome. We'll go through exactly which things to use for your specific condition. And another thing to build testosterone, believe it or not, is eggs. Okay. All right.
Congrats,
It is.
Abigail. She just signed up to Andrea.
Oh, good. Who was that?
Abigail.
Congratulations, Abigail. You are in. So you get your first module on Thursday, and then any questions that you have, because we go through a lot of stuff. Like one of the things that I do with this program is we give you the information, but then you're not left hanging with the information. So as you go through each module, but we only put out one per week because it's a lot to digest, and we have to calm the body and relax the body so that the mind gets what it needs, right? So if you're on constant go, 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 gotta get it, you're not going to be able to absorb. So any questions that you have on module number 1 about any of the foods that I cover, you're going to bring that to the first coaching call, as well as any personal questions that you have. Our first coaching call sometimes goes to an hour and a half, because I have to get to everybody's question. Um, but everybody's question gets answered, and multiple questions. They all get answered, because that's your time. Like my job over the next 4 months is to support you. Like I want you to have a great experience, like the other people in my program, the other girls and guys that have come through. I want you to have a great experience, right? So I want you to leave the program feeling empowered, healed. Um, like Sanjita, her thyroid numbers were normal in 3 months. Um, I had one person that got her numbers normal in 1 month, 30 days, which I thought was miraculous. But I'm open to miracles. Um, so it's late. It's 8:03. We're going to be closing up shop here. Um, if you have any additional questions, email me, AndreaB@AndreaBeeman.com. For those of you that are ready and you're like, I don't want to wait anymore, go to AndreaBeeman.com/thyroid. And please remember to use Thyroid 200 within the next 60 seconds. And then, Amanda, you continue to work with Kevin, um, and get him in. And,
He's in.
oh, say again.
We got it. Just his order just came through.
Oh, great, Kevin. So I'll talk to you next Thursday, Kevin. You bring all of your questions. We're going to go over everything. So it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be, like one of the things that I want you to experience is that healing the body can be fun and enlightening and empowering, rather than you're slogging through your day and you're like, oh, this gosh darn thyroid, it's killing me, right? So uh, I'll speak to you guys and gals next week. For those of you that need that link again, it's AndreaBeeman.com/thyroid. Use code thyroid 200. Amanda and I are checking out. I'll leave you with Meredith. She said all of the modules were amazing. They all touched me in my life in some way. I feel leaner, have more energy. I am calmer and willing to slow down. A couple of years ago, I would have never slowed down. I didn't think I had time. I was in a rush to get all of my life in order. Now I'm seeing it's a process, and I need to let myself heal rather than try to rush the process. That's wisdom right there. She said, thank you for that, and I'm looking forward to more. Also, I'm beginning to believe in myself, and that is adding to my confidence and self esteem in so many ways. This course has been taking me into places I never knew existed. Okay, so guys and gals, thank you for your time and your attention and your energy. And for those of you that are in the program, I will speak to you next Thursday. This Thursday, you get your first module. It's going to be a lot of fun. Get your pen and paper. Actually, you don't even need a pen and paper because you could download everything. That's what we do with this program. Everything's downloadable. You get to own it. You can download the videos, the audios, the recipes, everything. Okay. All right. Everybody, thank you for your time and your energy. Amanda, I'll talk to you later. Good night, everybody. Have a great night.